All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham Ha Rakat Qudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders which rule great millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba babal. Alright. So I saw this report today from Democracy Now! And it's what is his name? Pete Buttplug. All right, which he's in control of the transportation department on behalf of the government of the United States of America. Okay, and he said, "quote There will be more derailments." All right, that's what even this man said on record, that we're just in the beginning of the year. Okay, in a year, he says there's a 1,000 derailments. Okay, and all these derailments have had chemicals of warfare on them. Okay, so the so-called white man is the red devil, the wicked the Bible speaks of. And this is evidence of him even killing his own people. All right, in Revelation 6, it says that the devil will kill his own people. All right, so let's go to Job 9, verse 24. 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So he did iconoclasm on dark age art from the past, showing dark-skinned people ruling the world. All right, and set himself up, including over the image of the Messiah and of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, which are described as so-called black men. But Esau Edom, the so-called white man, set his image up, okay, and showed the world that, told him that he was God with his technology, okay. So he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, all right. If not, where and who is he? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, it's because they're ruling the world. Who controls these things? So this man here is an Edomite, Pete Buttplug. Okay, and then you had Salat. Okay, I was listening to this governor, the governor of Ohio, and he was pointing out, who has responsibility of this bill. He says the government, which is, the all the way up to Congress, to the president, because they're the ones moving this stuff around, right? He said himself, being the governor of Ohio, he should know what's going in and out of his state, right? And then he blames the company that spilt the Norfolk, all right, which you can see this is the CEO, a so-called white man. The so-called white man rules the world. They are the wicked the Bible speaks of. It says, the response of a true coward, CEO of Ohio Railroad disaster firm, Norfolk Southern, gets blasted on Twitter for an open letter saying we will not walk away, hours after he failed to show at a town hall meeting due to safety fears. Right, so he wouldn't go into town because he was fearful for his own health, but at the same time, they're telling their citizens to go back home with their children. See, because the devil, the so-called white man, is the wicked that rule the world. They're in control of all these resources. All right, and that's why everything's in chaos. All right. But then it says that they'll kill each other. Revelation 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse. This horse is symbolic of power. That was red. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is red. As you can see, this man's color, okay, against his collar of his shirt. His shirt is white, okay. His skin is red, a derivative of red, pink. All right, this man, he has on a white shirt, but his skin is more closer to his red tie, because they are not white, they are red. They are the Edomite. They are the devil the Bible speaks of. Okay? And let me get butt plug. It says it right here. Alright? Look at his skin, look at his shirt. His shirt is white. He does not blend in with his shirt. Okay? So they are not white, they are red. So going back to Revelation 6 verse 4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him, to the red man, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, that sat thereon, to take peace from the earth. Alright? Is this not taking peace from the earth? You know? Is this not taking peace from the earth? It says, and that they should kill one and another. And that town, okay, this ain't the only time that this happened, but in this town, East Palestine of Ohio, it's a mostly so-called Caucasian city, which we know that there's even Israelites, which the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery. All right, there's even Israelites that look like the so-called Caucasians. So I don't want to say, you know, the whole city of Ohio is Edomite, you know, East Palestine, but majority of it is so-called Caucasian. Okay, which the ones ruling the world, okay, they kill their own. Okay, and they don't feel sorry about it either. You see? They're the devil the Bible speaks of. Alright? It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, which is the missile, the nuclear missile. Alright? So who has that great sword? The so-called white man. The red devil. Alright, whether it's an American, a Russian, a French, a British, all right? I'm talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, all right? The one that doesn't believe in the God of the Bible. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay? That's that great sword that he gave him, was that nuclear missile, okay? So the devil, what follows him is death and destruction. And that's what the Lord is bringing upon the world with this devil. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 15, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. So these words that we read to you are prophetic. All right, we break them down so that you could understand it. Which I will put in thy mouth, which we didn't choose this, okay? The true prophets, they're chosen, okay? You know, you might have been able to look back and see the you know, the steps leading that way, but you know, when you were living your life, you didn't really plan on becoming a prophet. Okay, it's something that just really comes to you as a surprise, and it's by you coming across the prophets and you're understanding the message. Okay, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Talking about the Bible, including the Apocrypha. All right, so the prophets you come across, you hear them reading the scriptures, breaking it down, and it making sense to the times, right? You know, studying to show yourself approved, and also measuring the time in itself, looking around and seeing what's going on in the world, and just like you can see the weather changing from, you know, like the days are getting longer, we know that spring is coming. All right, we're in winter, but we're going into spring, and we're already seeing those signs. All right, so you should be able to look around and see the news articles and see what's going on in your own life and be able to understand that we're in the last days. All right, the end times been since Yahweh Shai was, crucified for the sake of Israel and resurrected and sat at the right hand of the Father, soon to return. Okay, that's the end times. We are in the latter days of the end times. Okay, and it tells you that this devil, the so-called white man, he's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. All right, and that's why he's poisoning the earth, poisoning the water. He's poisoning the people. He's poisoning the food. He's poisoning the minds, It says in verse 3, fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So all our haters, they could, go pound sand. Because who could bring a charge against the hopeful elect of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai? Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Talking about the Israelites that don't believe, they're going to die in that unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Let me jump down. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction. So they're coming down with great wrath, but it's really going to lead into their destruction. Okay, woe unto them that war with their maker. Okay, Esau Edom is the devil the Bible speaks of, and Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai hate Esau Edom, and this is why they're rejoicing at him coming down with great wrath, because that means they get to come down and destroy him. Okay, it says, "15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay, which is going to lead to World War III, nuclear destruction of America. Okay, but you're going to have civil war, race war. Yahweh Shai told us in Matthew 24, verse 3, and as he, being Yahweh Shai, sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? The world is eon, and it means the age of the so-called white man ruling, because it was the Romans back then, which are the so-called Caucasians. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. All right, and that's what's going on right now, major deception. All right, it calls it gross darkness. The world is in a gross darkness, and the hopeful elect, they have the light. All right, the light being the truth about Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, and that light, all right, it's here in this dark world, but people hate the light. The Israelite, majority of Israel hates the light because they're caught up in the wickedness of the devil, the so-called white man. They love so-called Jesus Christ. All right, they don't want to hear about Yahweh Shai, the true Messiah the Bible speaks of, because of the devil's deception. All right, so the devil is going to receive ill for the reward of his hands, and those 2/3 that reject the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, reject the returning of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, reject any, really any honoring of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and in fact, they're going to take a device the size of a grain of rice, and they're going to allow Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is going to make it mandatory. He's going to put it inside their body for buying and selling. He's going to make it mandatory worldwide. All right, and anyone that takes that will be destroyed with the devil, the so-called white man. All right, and it's a death by fire. It says in verse 5, And Yahweh Shai is saying this. When you see red letters in the Bible, it's the Messiah speaking. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So there's many false prophets. All right, because the so-called white man, the red devil, all right, he's pushing out a false religion on many different levels. You got Christianity, you got Islam, you got Buddhism, Hinduism. All right, there's people that believe in the politics of these worlds as religion. You know, they have all kinds of false idols in this world, and it all started with America, because America is the reincarnation of Rome. All right, that's why it was called the New World. All right, because they were coming to set up the New World Order using America. All right, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which you see that ye be not troubled. All right, so don't get all worked up, because really we know that the true war, World War III, is going to be in our land, all right, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to punish all these armies that are gathered into our land, because they have defiled not only the holy people of Israel, but they have defiled the land, the holy land of Israel. So the Lord's going to punish their armies that gather together to fight Yahweh Shai. All right. And he's going to destroy Babylon, which is America, for having the Israelites. Okay. Because majority of the Israelites are in America. They've been scattered throughout the world in slavery. All right. The Northern Kingdom, which are the so-called Mexicans, the so-called indigenous people of the Americas, all right, including the Caribbeans and also the Negro descent, which were brought here on slave ships, all right, those are the Israelites. And they came here either on slave ships or on ships trying to escape the heathen, like the Northern Kingdom in 2nd Ezra 13. They came here trying to, find a place for rest, and, they were going off. And so the Lord sent the heathen to punish them, which is all part of the prophecies. All right. And then the Southern Kingdom, all right, they were brought on slave ships, and they were in West Africa running from the Roman Edomites in 70 AD, which destroyed Jerusalem. All right. Which Yahweh Shai in this chapter prophesies to them of that destruction coming. All right. But at the top, it's talking about the end of this world. In fact, right here in Matthew 24, verse 1, and Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. So back then we had actual buildings, including the temple, that were built by Israelites. All right. Now you don't have that. You have Edomites in that land. You have Ishmaelites in that land. You have a bunch of bastards. It says, verse 2, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Because that's going to happen when he destroys those armies of the world that are gathered there to fight him. All right, in 2nd Ezra 13. All right, as well as the ones that fight Jerusalem here in Babylon, they're going to actually suffer the nuclear destruction, which it tells you in Zechariah 14 that they'll melt, the flesh on the bone will melt, and the eyes and the holes in the mouth with the tongue, it's all going to melt away. All right. Because the Lord is coming to judge the world, and he's sending his son, Yahweh Shai. All right. Yahweh Shai is the judge, and he's going to judge according to the Father's choosing. Okay. Because it's already been pretty much ordained by the Father who would be saved by Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says in Revelation 19, verse 11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, which is the power of Yahweh, which Yahweh Shai has the the chariots, okay? He has the chariots. The angels follow him on chariots. Yahweh has a throne, okay? And they ride the so-called UFOs, all right? And he's going to come upon a so-called UFO in the glory of his Father, okay? It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. So Yahweh Shai is going to make judgment and wage war against the wicked and them that are doing wickedly. All right, because the wicked are going to go to war against the saints because they're going to push this new world order. And that new world order is that everybody has to be micro CHIPPED, right? You got to get tagged in your hand or in your forehead with the charagma, all right? Because they got this device the size of a grain of rice, and they're going to make it mandatory for buying and selling. All right, it's all part of their beast system. Revelation 13, verse 7, and it was given unto him, the so-called white man, dealing with the elite, the ruling class of the so-called white race, to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So that's why they're being able to bring this NWO into existence, okay, because it was given to him to do it. But with it, he's going to go to war against the saints, okay? It says in Revelation 13, I'm going to just jump down to verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, the charagma, the size of a grain of rice. They're going to make it mandatory, all right? The WEF is talking about it. The, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Neuralink, though, is the name of the company, all right? Look up Neuralink. They want to put a device in your head, all right? This is prophesied. This is the mark of the beast, the size of a grain of rice. They got this technology, and they want to implant it inside your body so that they could track everything you do, all right? It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So how do you get the name of the beast or the number of his name? It's by that mark, the MOTB, the implantable micro CHIP, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. See, because when you scan it, it has a barcode number, it has a barcode system. All right? It says, here is wisdom, let him that hath the understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. See right here. You know? And who is it that wants to do this? The red devil the Bible speaks of. All right? The so-called white man is the wicked. All right? They are the devil the Bible speaks of. All right? They have deceived the world. And they're going to try to do it again with this device. With this device that's the size of a grain of rice. They're going to make it mandatory for buying and selling. Okay? And that's an abomination. So do not take it. Do not agree. Do not agree. All right? To allow their technology to be implanted in your body. Because if you do, you know, you're condemning yourself, and you will be destroyed with that mark. It tells you that in Revelation 14. It says in verse 9, and after this I beheld, you know what, let me go ahead and start at verse 8. It says, and there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, which this is going to happen after they pretty much push out that device and make it mandatory. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, all right, the so-called white man system, and receive his mark, you agree to get that implant, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture. So it will be without any mercy. You'll be in that lake of fire. You'll be burnt up into the cup of his indignation, which is his indignation is against the so-called white man, and America is the so-called white man's heaven. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right? So the Lord's going to destroy the enemy of Israel, the enemy of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, by fire. And that includes even Israelites. You know, there's an actual number for America. It's 2/3. 2/3 of the nation of Israel in America will perish because they took it on the way of the heathen. All right? In Romans 9, verse 11, it says, for the sons, talking about Jacob and Esau, being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. All right? So this is to display the power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. There's no free will. It's all preordained. Okay? It says, as it is, verse 13, well, I'll start at 12. It was said unto her, unto their mother, all right, by the prophet, the elder shall serve the younger, and Esau is the elder, and the younger is Jacob. Esau is the father of the so-called Caucasian race, the Edomites, the red devils, the wicked that rule the world. All right. And Isaac, all right, the father of Esau and Jacob, blessed Esau with the fatness of the earth for a portion. All right. And the Israelites, we get our portion after Esau. When Yahweh Shai returns, the wicked are ruling. The wicked are ruling today. It's evidence in everything that they do and say that they are the wicked. All right, they promote homosexual lifestyles. They defile the children's innocence. Right, they push women into adultery. They push men into homosexuality. They destroy homes. They destroy cities with their missiles. They poison the earth with the chemicals. All right, they are the wicked. They are the devil the Bible speaks of. And they're in power right now, just like it's prophesied that they'd be ruling when Yahweh Shai returns. All right, he's going to judge the wicked and them that do wickedly. All right, it says in verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Lord hates the so-called white man. It tells you that he's long-suffering, okay? It says that he's pretty much long-suffering. There it is, verse 22. What if Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Talking about Edom, okay? And they get destroyed when Yahweh Shai comes back. He's going to put them in slavery for 1,000 years under the Israelites, and then they're going to be made extinct after that 1,000 years is done. Now that word, long suffering, let's get that. Long suffering, all right, patience, which the word patience literally means to suffer. Because, he don't enjoy seeing this so-called white man rule. It says, patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble. All right, the world's in trouble, his people are in trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. All right, so he has a tolerance right now for Esau, but it's running thin. That's why all these prophecies are happening, because he's ready to come and destroy this devil. All right. So it says right here, it says in verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So he hates Esau and his entire race, the so-called Caucasians. All right. And he loves Jacob, the Israelites. That's why he punishes the Israelites. That's why he sent us in slavery. It says that he shows us his ways, his judgments. In Psalms 147, it says in verse 19, the whole chapter is really good. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So that's why we praise Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, B'Shem Ha Rekah Kodash, and double honors to our apostles that, taught us the truth, because we would still be in darkness, walking around not knowing who we are. We'd be those dry bones still in the valley of the shadow of death. I'm going to read a little from the top. It says in Psalms 147, verse 1, praise ye Yahweh, for it is good to sing praises unto our power, for it is pleasant, and praise is comely. It's a beautiful thing to be called out of the darkness into the light, into the marvelous light of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Yahweh does build up Jerusalem. All right, just like in the ancient world, he allowed men, righteous men, to leave slavery and began to rebuild the temple. And eventually Israel would prosper for a period of time until they went back into slavery. But this time we're not going to go into slavery no more. Our slavery is ending, and we will not be going back into slavery no more. In fact, the nations that had us in slavery, which is all of them, they're going to go into slavery under us, all right, for 1,000 years, which they're going to build our kingdom up in our promised land, the true promised land, which is not that little piece of land that they call Israel, all right? It's from the Nile all up to the Euphrates, That's why that earthquake, that's the Lord clearing our land. That's the Lord clearing those bastards out of our land. Okay? There's great judgment coming to the whole world. All right? The Lord is about to punish all the wicked and them that do wickedly, including the other nations. Salvation is only for the Israelites, and not all the Israelites are of Israel, because they're going to die a heathen's death. A lot of Israelites, more Israelites than... Let me just grab that real quick. 2nd Ezra 8, verse 2, it says, actually it's verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So he's going to kill a lot of people. Verse 3, there be many created, like right now, it's more than ever, but few shall be saved. So only a few will be saved, even of the Israelites. It's called a remnant. All right? So let me go back to that Psalms 147. All right? In verse 2, it says, Yahweh does build up Jerusalem. So he's building us up by gathering the men, all right, into the camps, starting with the great millstone camp. He gathereth together the outcasts of Israel. Okay? And why are we being gathered together? We're being gathered together to be saved. All right? Zephaniah 2, it says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, talking about the Israelites. And we're gathering together in the camps, all right, which is with the men. The women are to be in subjection to their husband. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass, as the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you, before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you. Seek ye Yahweh, all ye meek, and it says, all ye meek of the earth, which means the ones that are willing to hear this word and obey, which have wrought his judgment, seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger. And remember, that's only for the Israelites. The heathen don't have no salvation. All right? The heathen have no salvation. That's why it says in Obadiah, verse 15, it says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Right? And what's going to happen? They're going to go into slavery. Revelation 13:10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience, which I just showed you. Patience is what? Suffering. Endurance, right? And enduring hardship as a good soldier. And the faith of the saints. Faith is believing in what we can't see. That's in Hebrews 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, which is expected for, the evidence of things not seen. All right? So the hope is to expect, and the evidence is that our faith is here with us. You know, we were woke up from a darkness, and you know, I could testify that I didn't wake myself up. I could look back on my path and see the Lord guiding me into the light, into the truth of his son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, by the power of Yahweh, the Holy Spirit guided me in the name of Yahweh Shai to the apostles which rule Great Millstone. All right? It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And the saints, okay, we are cleansed by the word. I know what scripture. John 15:3. It says, Yahweh Shai says, Salat. Yahweh Shai says, now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. All right. So being obedient to his word and going out and prophesying and sighing and crying, all right, striving lawfully, okay, the Lord is going to see us as saints, sanctified, cleansed by his blood, and deliver us because of Yahweh's power. Yahweh has given Yahweh Shai this authority over angel and man, over heaven and earth. All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kudash, double honors to our apostles and elders which rule Great Millstone Wow, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom Wa Abba Babal.